Hi everyone. Just making sure I'm all plugged in here. I hope you're all doing well today. It was 6:11 on the clock as we started, which is the Lovers and Justice, Truth and Balance. And we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath first. Let's pull out this bowl over here. We'll take 3 deep breaths. You might want to, as you breathe in, bring in that stream of light through your crown, wrap it around your heart, allow the energy to diffuse out into your chest, into your head, your arms, your legs, out into your etheric body and out into the neighborhood and the world as far as you want it to go. You can direct that love energy to anyone you like, whether it's children around the world, somebody else, anyone who's vulnerable. And let's go ahead and take that deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending love, lots of love and blessings out to you guys. I'm seeing big hugs with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, spending time with me. I so appreciate you guys. Okay, so we're going to roll the die first. And today I'm going to show you the pictures one at a time. So I'm going to show you the picture for the read I'm about to give you so that there's a separation within the video as well, so it's easier to find each one. So let's roll the die. This is sticking to me. Hold on. Okay. So rolling the die for Twin Flames today. It is November 16th, 2021 today, and we have Aries. So Aries, I think that came up yesterday as well. So a lot of very aggressive energy. It's the first sign out of the gate. It's also a fire sign. And we have the moon here as well, which is very much around Cancer energies. As we have the full moon eclipse coming up on Friday. And we also have 5 of change, freedom, expansion, and also to the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So yeah, Taurus, Cancer, and Aries. Yeah, between Taurus and Aries, there definitely could be some butting of heads there, plus Cancer, which can be really moody, plus a full moon, which a lot of energy is going to be expressed at this eclipse. So it should be interesting to see how these energies play out as I do the reads, as I go forward here. All right, so the first is going to be my message from this morning from the Metatron deck. And this is the read. So, and I'll describe some of the pictures in here to help you understand some of the messages I was getting. But there's a lot of information that came through today. I was referred to Lisa Renee's website, as I have been many times before, Energetic Synthesis. And yeah, we'll get started now here. So in starting this out, it was really funny because I was watching Laura Eisenhower for a short time just before I was putting my cards out here. And she had referenced Energetic Synthesis, and I hadn't been to that website in a long time. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to go back, and boy, was I. So she was talking about Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, and a lot of information about that came up, but it was really cool because a lot of words from what I researched have been trigger words that I've been getting constantly in the past couple of weeks. So it always, Spirit always has a way of sending you to the right place to put it all together. So we start out in the underlying energies here. This was 9:48 to 49 this morning, the Hermit, and then 48 and 49 is the 8 and 9 of Cups, the walking away and within, and the Get Your Wish card, or self-love, right? Being satisfied with yourself. And the underlying energy was all about healing, the new dawn, and Akashic records. And the colors that came up in the cards today were silver and green, which is very interesting because the definition of silver came up on the website. So again, green is a very healing color, the physical body, and silver comes up along with the gold above the white light, right? So we go from violet to white to silver and gold, and then the golden with the magenta or pink rose color can come up there as well. The silver and gold coming together, and that was coming up with the colors the other day of Christmas, of green and red and gold and silver, but it comes up in a very defined way on Lisa Renee's site today. So again, the healing is the green energy, but we're going to go into silver as well. So from what Laura was talking about, if you want to watch her video, so she does astrological reads and talking about realigning to the cosmic heart of Lyra and Andromedan, the universal center. She's talking about rebirthing, the cleansing of the blood, the breath, and the mitochondria, and Chiron. And she had posted this on her read here about the divine fire water. And of course, she talks a lot about the ethers too. And of course, plasma ether has been coming up constantly in my reads for the past 6 months at least. But the Golden Gate was coming up yesterday. Remember I told you about the window I saw in my dream? And I have to tell you about yesterday morning, I forgot to tell you what I was dreaming. I told you I had a weird dream again, but I forgot to tell you what it was. And so prior to that, I'd seen this pointed window like a church door, but I was seeing a window specifically. And then yesterday it was coming up as that Christ door, that Golden Gate. So the Golden Gate had come up in my reading before today, but today again, the Golden Gate was coming up. So it was confirming that that was my window that I was seeing in my dream. And that has to do with the gate to the Christ consciousness, from our humanness to the Godhead energy. So the solar alignment with the cosmic ether at the core of the galactic center is what Laura was talking about, representing the power of healing spirit of waters into earth and humanity from the mother that previously was corrupted by entrapping the mother principle and the gold ray seraphim on earth, capable of healing fallen angels and bringing the light and bridging to the light resurrection as it resides between Scorpio and Sagittarius, which is where we are now. We're coming up on the switch over from Scorpio to Sagittarius. And as I brought up yesterday, we're nearing the North Node change on December 22nd, 21, which she brought up in conjunction with this as well, which is in Taurus. So it switches from Gemini to Taurus. So the time of this energy here is to help get rid of negative, patterning, which we've been doing, karma and control, over these constellations of Scorpio and Sagittarius, and the Saturn Moon matrix is what she was talking about. But anyway, some of what she talked about in her video was she had referenced to energetic synthesis, which is Lisa Renee's website. And so I was looking that up too. The mitochondria is considered the powerhouse of the cell. It generates ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and that was coming up from there. So anyway, I went into energetic synthesis, but first I'd done my usual stuff in the morning, and I forgot to tell you yesterday, when I woke up, I was dreaming that I was in bed, but I was dreaming that I fell asleep on the couch, and I was seeing someone sneak past my front door because my door was still open. But it was like they were going to my garden and then sneaking past the door again to make a getaway, taking something with them. I'm like, what are they putting or taking away from my garden? And it was like an old woman wrapped in like a red, natural wool, but it was like a reddish burgundy type of color. She was wrapped in that, but she was taking something from my garden or putting something in there. I wasn't sure what it was, but I woke up dreaming this. So I woke up because I felt like I needed to go look out the window to make sure there's nobody outside. And that's why I woke up yesterday morning. So when I did go outside, which I usually do to ground in the morning, I looked in my garden to see if there was anything there that wasn't usually there. But what I noticed, because I'm always looking for, blue feathers from the bluebirds and stuff, so I'm always finding blue things everywhere except for blue feathers because Spirit's playing games with me. When I noticed my blueberry bush, which looked like it had died completely, and this is for months, not just recently, was growing new leaves at the bottom, and it's freezing cold out. Like, how are you growing now? Like, by now, all the plants are kind of dead and like falling away. But not only is my blueberry tree regrowing in this freezing cold weather, but another plant at the opposite side of my garden is blooming flowers. Like, it's kind of crazy because that's never happened before. So that was really cool. So I wanted to make sure I told you about that. So, So again, what's interesting too is when I get the letters ES, I would always talk about Sophia. The ES is the S for Sophia, but it's also energetic synthesis, which of course that website is like a crazy, amazing amount of information about ascension. So if you've never gone to energetic synthesis, make sure you do. I'm trying to think of the other website, but I'm just blanking out on the name that I used to go to all the time. That's got all that kind of stuff too. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But I forget about those websites too because they're overwhelming. For me, I don't learn well by reading because especially when it's that technical, it's not easy information to read. So it's very hard for me to absorb that amount of technical information all at once. So I can only take it in small doses. But please check it out. It's an amazing resource. And so the definition that came up from Lisa Renee's website about Ophiuchus is also referred to as the serpent holder, which is 180 degrees or opposite in astrology to Orion right now, which is considered Osiris. The circuit path around the galactic equator, the gate of the gods, is the Golden Gate. The opposite, or the anti, is the gate of man, not the devil, but of man, the Silver Gate. Where man meets God, the stages we have to endure to reach spiritual magnum opus, which opus came up in my read the other day, right? So the Golden Gate came up, Silver is coming up today, and Opus came up this week as well, in moving through the consciousness gateways. So I'm sure you've heard of the precession of the equinoxes since the 1987, the harmonic convergence, and we're awakening through all of the equinoxes, which the equinoxes fall in the spring and the fall. So we have the fall equinox, spring equinox. So we evolve on the ecliptic path of the gate of man to complete the evolutionary cycle that intersects at the galactic center. Once man intersects with the galactic equator at Ophiuchus's feet, which is the constellation, we have the potential access to the Golden Gate, which is being unified with the cosmic Holy Spirit. It holds the universal elixir that opens at the end of the precession cycles. The galactic or the Golden Gate, located on the circuit path where the two great celestial spheres intersect and create 4 quadrants or circles. And the first great circle or circuit is the sun's path through the zodiac cycle, and the other is the path of the center of the Milky Way galaxy, or the galactic equator. They intersect between Taurus and Gemini, which is the Silver Gate, and between Scorpio and Sag constellations right under Ophiuchus's right foot, which is the Golden Gate. The ancient Egypt included both Ophiuchus and Orion, which is the 14th system sign. Okay, so not just a 13th sign, but a 14th sign, which is the opposite of Ophiuchus, which is Orion. The representatives of Egypt and the Egyptian zodiac and Dendera, which includes the Temple of Hathor, show figures of Gemini as man and woman holding hands as opposed to the lovers. The Gemini represents the integration between the masculine and the feminine, the future union of spiritual masculine and spiritual feminine, or the hierogamic union under universal laws of the aeonic pairing of the Christos Sophia. So the Ophiuchus, or the 9th stage, is expressed by the divine ether and water, fire water, sacred wound healer of human spiritual ascension, hidden in the mitochondria, making transmutation possible. The cosmic mother principle returns through the mitochondrial activation and magnetic shifting. And for me, that's been the plasma ethers that keep coming up now, because we're incorporating now not just the 4 elements, but ether as well. So this is called Azoth, Azoth, per the alchemists, the universal elixir that created all existence. The negative form imposter of Sephiroth, which I found very interesting because that references Rothschilds, which is the negative side here. It's called the Qliphoth. It's Qlippoth, which is the negative form imposter of the Sephiroth. The Dark Mother and the fallen Azazel, the hierarchies of the Antichrist forces, misusing their fire water of the Prima Materia Azoth, which is just the, in other languages, the name, which is androgynous energy of solar fire, and then the water, of course, is Luna, water. The Magnum Opus, the alchemical law, meets in Ophiuchus. It's the pyramid of 10 of 3 by 3 by 1. The 1 is the Godhead, or the Azoth. The sacred decad of the Pythagoreans, which is my numerology book, is based on the Pythagorean theorem, and the Yahweh-4, the Hebrew tetragrammaton, and the 10 spheres of emanation of the tree of life, based on the sacred decad of tetracytes, or tetracytus. So anyway, then she goes into the tetrahedron, the pyramid of 10, the all-inclusive structure of the 4D universe, the domination and the order within the structure. So 10 equals the matrix, keeping 1 locked in the illusion of the 3D world. The sacred decad is, or the tetracytes, is symbolize the 4 creatures and elements, also intersects into 4 quadrants of cardinal directions, and represents divine calculus of the universe. So the Ophiuchus constellation transmission is the 13th sign, which 13 reduces to 4. And talking about the 4, which was always curious to me because everything is always about the 3, but I was getting 4s all the time, which I realized was now the other side, the Godhead, which represents organization of dimensions and space in the cosmos. So the pyramid of 10, the top dot is the 0 dimension, or it's the Godhead. The second 2 dots are the first dimension. The next 3 dots of the pyramid are the 2D, and then the 4 dots on the bottom is the 3D tetrahedron. The history behind this was the Sumerian invasion, where the Sumers, where Iraq is now, that was the negative alien invasion, close to the 10th Stargate and the 4th Stargate, which geometrically was used to dominate in a closed loop system. By shutting down these gates, they could dominate humans and make them into slaves. The 12-tree grid by Lyran Syrians was a homing device to find and retrieve all lost aspects of the 12-strand DNA. The diamond sun body. The invasion blocked the 8th portal and the 8th portal, which went to Orion, and the 12th portal of the planetary gates, blocking the 8th and 12th chakras, so they correspond to the chakra systems. 5,500 years ago, instituted mind control, at that time when they took over, for patriarchal domination of the archonic deception strategy, or archontic deception strategy, to perpetuate enslavement agenda for all Earth humans. And then they just went on to explain the 3 sections of the dominators, the victims or the slaves, and then the resistance, which were the opposers. And the dominators they explain as the Orion Empire, and the resistance was the Orion Black League, but a lot of them became part of the Orion Empire because they fell. Many became like their opposers. Some of the Orion Black League were Kumara dragons or Ray masters, and became fallen and enslaved by the Orions, and their image falsified in this timeline to lead to the New Age as the ascended masters, now opening to the crystal kaleidoscope. I don't know what the word is I wrote there, but that energy of the crystal kaleidoscope. The 4 here is the root of all, which is also referencing the 22, the Master Builder. For me, in my deck, is about the Fool with an open heart, taking a leap of faith, right? The Master Builder of balance, order, of balancing the poles, the opposites, spirit and matter, motion and rest, integrity, symmetry, internal and external relationships, completeness and strength. Build the rod was the project in correction to the spherical system. Ezekiel's bones that were buried need to be released from burial, because that was another program of keeping us locked into the earth. The 12D purification and calibration on the website, there are prayers on there if you're interested in that. If you look up 12D purification. So the Akashics, I went back to my cards at this point, and Ra's been coming up all week, so Ra came up again, and then Sam the Illusionist, his video today came from Ra, and that's on his Patreon site. So there's a lot of Ra coming through here, which Ra means oneness, but it's also Ray. So very interesting energies here with the Akashics and the Golden Gate coming up. And healing the sun by merging the golden and the silver gates to 0 point. The Golden Gate, or the sun, Ra, or Ray, which was interesting because it comes up as the name that Sam the Illusionist had given me as my soul name was Uma. Yuma. And I spell it U-M-U, which is literally the waves of the cup into the 2 cups upside down and then another cup upright, which where one is a short vowel, one is a long vowel, and the same way with the M upside down. But again, that flowing of balance was coming up here regarding the rays. To review and reflect that the 10th is the point of no return, basically after the 9 of 3 by 3, and then the 1 being the Godhead. And you realize there's always 4 points. There's 4 and 3 always come up together, because with 4 points there's 3 spaces. With 4 legs of the relay race, there's 3 batons, right? Or 3 exchanges of the baton. So reflecting endings, the effect of the eclipses happens. It happens every day where the sun goes down. So it's saying not only at the eclipses, but the reflecting energies of the effect of the eclipses happens every day where the sun goes down and the moon is seen in the sky, creating that longing versus the sunshine during the day, the illusion versus the truth, the queen of the night versus the knight and page of the day, as the knight turns the page at 11:55, which is justice and truth. And then right at that moment, I saw a shadow of something flash by the front window. And then as I looked up to see what it was, I saw a small bird fly again the same exact angle that I felt the shadow go, and then fly the opposite direction in the same path, going south, but on their way up. The message in the bottle and the shell where the land meets the sea and the pier drops off, the bottle washed up opposed to the sword found within the deep calm night waters at 11:59, where Squirrel just looked at me at that point, which is the 11th hour, literally. 11:59 is the minute before 12, which then is justice and the 5 of Swords, the war within, that anticipation of the hour. Allowing to be found, or are you efforting to look for it? The message of the sun ray, or the moon's silver sword of the dark side, the pen versus the sword. Communication versus war. Allowing information to surface and land, or diving to look for a reason to complain. Go with the flow with the river's current all day, where love flowers and leadership towers in leaving the wounded warrior behind to be the Atlas energy proudly carrying a torch, the lighthouse, the lookout, accepting your shadow, but calling in the sun and light supporting the flow, but with boundaries. Set for overflow so that you're able to weather unexpected storms. Move your body to release stuck energy and take in the light, lovingly showing off your shadow so it no longer is shadow because it is seen. From the Christ Sun to the Sophia chakra, humanness, the divine masculine sun, and the messages from the heart to exercise in order to love self. That's like a message from the masculine side. The divine feminine at the sunset and sunrise, the pillar of light that always appears in the night, her light body. Between them is the moon in the deep dark night, the bridging of the wound clearing while you sleep and then awake with knowledge. The sword becomes the flame to the light, this to light the way, to go outside and say hello to a new dawn, a bright new day. And this was at 12:12 to 13, which is again the end of the cycle through Theicus with the hanging man. And again, Ra equals 10. And it was funny that I changed Yuma, which you would think of Yuma, Arizona, as the same word. But I wasn't feeling that, and I ended up with UMU when I was figuring out how I wanted to spell it. And UMU also equals 10. So that was really cool that it came out that way. But Ra equals 10. 10 is the all. That 1010 of that high trill vibration. And then the Christos Golden Gate here at 1213, which comes up in that deck. I'm going to show you that card again because that was on the tag. Was that yesterday or the day before? I can never remember. I want to show you that energy again because it's significant. So here's that tower again, right, with the lighthouse. And here's that sword. Now we're talking about Orion, right, because the silver is coming up as the Orion side, whereas the Golden Gate is the God. It's the Orion side is the entrance to the human, the man world, whereas the Golden Gate is to the God world. So we have the here's the dimensional gateway. All right, so that's the Golden Gate energy. See the wings and the two flames on either side of the gateway. So I want you to feel that energy. So with the Christos Golden Gate at 1213, going from the end of the cycle through the transition, the divine feminine high priestess purging free expression, that message held captive, an Excalibur buried deep in the night waters of union and home, the Hieros Gamos experienced while you sleep. So you're always in Hieros Gamos, it's just you're not aware of it because it happens when you're sleeping. And the one-to-one connection at dawn, paddling on to love, family, and community dance, leading by example of the 44, grounding and integrating and mastering, or Jim and Atlas. And the towering lighthouse in the storm, lighting up the sky and grid, the grid holders, the gateways in pairs, hermiting for free movement to transform and play with energies of light and dark to pursue happiness, the possible dream of the Queen of Cups, as I whistled, the light body powering up to the electromagnetic grid when the sun goes down. So basically the feminine collecting all of this light is the power grid in the winter and at night, right? She's able to give that energy back, which is why I have that safety pin example of the feminine collecting the energy from meditation and from the sun, because when things power down, she's like that backup generator. Both experiencing the sun and the moon, the fire and the air sword, and the land and the water, feeding each other in the dance of the gold and silver gates, the gates of the gods and man, which right then my brother Jim called. And it was a 17-minute call. So the cosmos mirrors decisions and judgments, the wake-up call of the King of Cups, as we just brought up the Queen of Cups. Now we have the Queen of Cups needing to detach from drama. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups awaken to look up together in the Page of Cups energy evolution of a new heartfelt idea, perhaps. And then the green comes up with the Knight of Cups. So here we have a beautiful family of the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Page of Cups. And a healing trip, perhaps, to the void, to rest, retreat, and pause. The Empress, Gaia, creation and expansion. The Taurus North Node and Uranus in Taurus, sudden luxuries and fixing up the house. The Flower of Life, with the 10 of Cups, Decad, the signs from Spirit for emotional fulfillment, and the birds, and the branches, and the feathers by the tree, the I see, or the inner child, or informed consent, which is so important for you to just not give your consent away easily, which we do all the time. Like when I had my emergency, with water all over my basement, of course I'm signing yes to help me clean up. But, you know, do they ever actually show you the forms to read? No, of course not. So be careful what you're consenting to. The informed consent of Atlas, hear and know me, or in other words, hear and know is now, here and now, me. Powering up the electromagnetic grid, untying the knots of the twins, heating up the field, collecting the sun rays to give back in the wintertime, or in other words, just like the animals and humans, saving for the winter, collecting nuts or collecting energy to help you get through the winter, gathering and preserves. The light of the moon and the silver sword and stone, the flame of the sun and the golden gate chalice, or filling that chalice, merging the first and second place instead of first and second prize. We're merging the two with the third energy to become the one, the 4 structure, the 22, the Fool's Journey to unconditional love, which is the 33 of the Christ vibration, and the 44, able to carry the worlds and leap tall buildings in a single bound, while mastering 55, the truth, or 66, the divine feminine with 77 sovereignty, and the 88 of the twins dancing side by side, in 99 in the spy who loved me, to infinitum in divine image of 100%, lots of source energy, backing up their oneness for all. 4's human connection to 11, alignment, or 411, easy access to all information, which we will have when we have telepathic connection with each other. And then it was 222 on the clock, which is, again, the guidance counselor show. After I went outside to ground again, I meditated a bit. And I was getting the inner children, the feminine and the masculine, you know, little kids right at center, just sitting with each other, playing and being silly with each other, you know, flirting and playing. It was really sweet. And that's majorly what I was getting. I was also, when I was meditating, getting some pressure in my face at 151, which I often get when my twin is angry. I feel the pressure in my face. But I was also seeing somebody with a respirator on their face. So I don't know if someone on the masculine side might be dealing with illness. But it was very brief, so I wasn't sure of the message that was coming up. They kept bringing me back to the little girl and little boy, just playing with each other and having fun. So that was that message. It was really cool. So then I have the union read, which is a quickie. So let me just show you the union read. So here's the union read. Okay, the bottom row is the 4D, middle row is the 5D, top row is 6D. Incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine on the left and then the right. Left feminine, right masculine. The center column is the bridge between them. The top is, on the left is the underlying energy, and the top right is the closing energies of the higher self right there. Okay, so this is the union read. And this was done at 9:23 to 24 last night. The 9 of the Hermit, the 23 and 24 are the King and Queen of Wands. Okay, and today is the 16th, so that's the Tower energy, and today added up to the 6 of Wands. Yeah, so we have the 6 of Wands with the 32 and the 16 of the Tower. So sudden events today, whether that can be good and bad. So it's always something sudden. It can be an epiphany as well, or a sexual exchange. The Tower can bring up lots of different things. So the message here from the union read, 40, 5D, 60, with the 9 of Cups in the underlying energy, the Page of Swords in the middle, and the higher self at the end. So getting your wish with a message to higher self. The incoming divine feminine here was the 5 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and Ascension. Conflict in the pursuit of happiness. And getting a hug from someone you love to empower you to ascend. The 5 of the F, which can be the F word, or expanding and contracting, or staying in the middle, reflecting. And the 6 of Cha, which is the cha-cha dance. And the sense connection. The 4D of Luna, the 7 of Cups, and the Knight of Cups, which again, we have the eclipse with the full moon on Friday. The divine feminine Knight, the subconscious, the romanticism, and the divine masculine Knight of Cups swimming. And in the movie I'd watched last night, in their language, they use the word swimming, meaning he wanted to have sex. So the Divine Masculine Knight of Cups swimming, and again, the movie was about someone who, brought a friend home from a reunion party, and said he could sleep on the couch, and he ended up forcing himself on her, which is that subtle form of rape that people never tell about because they're afraid that people won't believe them or that they asked for it. So again, Divine Masculine Knight of Cups swimming in the green room, waiting to go on, bridged by the Seven of Cups, circling up the stairway to heaven, taking steps to the Divine Feminine emotional fulfillment, 2 steps at a time. The 5D here is the 10 of Cups, Page of Swords, and the 5 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine 10 of Cups with the flyer on top, and then my gnat showed up to play with me. Unforgettable, that's what you are. Above or ahead of the falls, served on a rainbow platter. And this 10 of Cups is bringing up the 10-pointed pyramid that we were just talking about from Lisa Renee's website. The Godhead is on top, the flyer. The Divine Masculine Hermit in exile in the Mary Magdalene cave, above the group in the ice cold, bridging with the Page of Swords, searching for the cave in the snow in the evergreens. The 6D here is the Queen of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. The Divine Feminine enjoying emotions of self-love. The Divine Masculine Queen of Swords with a handle on the truth, pulling the lever will crack the mosaic, bridging by walking away and within instead. Or the Divine Masculine walking away from the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. If the waters get too much on the Divine Masculine side, the Divine Feminine the Divine Feminine beelines back to fulfilling herself. So again, if the waters get too much on the Divine Masculine side because he's not behaving according to, what he should be with the feminine, she can always beeline back to fulfilling herself. So if she feels that energy welling up for the masculine, she just needs to go back and work on herself, that little light of mine. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the 3 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles, presenting gifts to end the pain with the Queen of Pentacles, higher self. And I whistled again there. The Divine Feminine here, romanticizing family, but alone, enjoying self, or deception or illumination about emotional fulfillment of the Queen of Cups. The Divine Masculine with the Knight of Cups left behind, where the Knight of Cups left behind the Queen of Swords, and that's why she's the Queen of Swords. She's in mourning. The bridge here is the synchronicities. The Divine Masculine steps to the Divine Feminine family message and walk away. And there's energies of going from 9 cups to 6 cups to 7 cups to 10 cups to 8 cups, and then walking away. So ultimately getting to 10, but leaving 8 behind to just have 2 cups left, which is the soulmates. Walking away from 8, started with 9 and leaving all but 1, but climbing to 10, but the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups leave 8 behind to go off by themselves. And by the way, that movie was called All Is Well, and I watched it before, but it was a couple of years ago, I think. So anyway, the overall energies here for Divine Feminine had Pisces and Cancer on their side with the Queen of Cups, and I whistled again there. The Divine Masculine had Pisces on his side with the Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So he had 2 queens and the Knight of Cups. Between the Feminine and Masculine was the Page of Swords, which can be a child, but also could be a message. And the overall number here was 63, which is the 9 of Swords, which is the suffering and silence energy, being stressed out or not sleeping at night. The horizontal pillars came out to 17, 15, and 31, which is the Star, the Devil, and the 5 of Wands. The vertical ones came out to 14, which is the Temperance card, 6 of the Lovers, 0, which is Source or Space, and then 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 15 of the Devil, 5 of the Hierophant, 3 of the Empress, and 10 again of the Wheel, and 0 again. So the messages came up as dreams of the devil and battling a nightmare. The Also the angel lover, or one of peace, destined devil, messenger of truth, destined to source suffering. So there's definitely that energy of going back into that pain body again with the 63. But that also comes up on the children card when you're parenting. So parents experiencing suffering because of children, and perhaps because them being the child and not being able to ever satisfy their parents, right, expectations, or perhaps you as parents dealing with your children having issues or acting up and having a lot of things that you're worried about because of the way they're behaving. And this can also just be, battling nightmares, having bad dreams. And I don't usually remember my dreams, and I just woke up 2 days in a row with dreams in the morning. So that's interesting. The angelic lover, or the energy of peace, with high vibration, devil of the messenger of truth, destined to source suffering. All right, and so now we have the twin flame read in front of you on the table, which I actually did today. And here's the main read that's in front of you on the table. And this is the Syrian Starseed deck as well. And then here is the complete read in front of you. It's a 7-deck read. It's a general read. Both of them are. One is more focused on the physical union. The other one is more general energies of all of the twin flames. If you want something more specific, you have my information below, as well as my website, twinflames3344.com. So here is this twin flame read. So this one was cut and dealt at 2/14. So Valentine's Day is coming up again. That came up a lot this year. The only coding that came up before I finished clarifying was the letter A. So if that means something to you, take it as it comes to you. Which is also, A is 1. I finished or completed at 2:43, which is the High Priestess and the 43 of the Three of Cups coming together. And of course 2:14 is the High Priestess with the Temperance card of that higher love and patience and balance. So when I finished clarifying, the major arcana here were Ascension, which is the world, Indigo, which is the Magician, Alchemy, which is the Temperance card, and then Karma, which is the Judgment card. Before the read with Lovers and Solar Deity, which is the Lovers can be the twin energy as well, but that's Gemini and Leo. The signs within the read are Pisces, Gemini or Virgo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. And then after the read, we had Transition, which is the Death card, so that's Scorpio. And we're still in Scorpio right now. We had 4 swords, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle. And the numbers, we had triple 8s here. So when we get triple 8s for me, that's the 2 8s, the crazy 8s dancing side by side. When they get the third 8, it knocks them over into the infinity symbol of the masculine and feminine coming together physically, where then the infinity goes from one to the other and does the dance sideways. So that came up, the triple 8s, as well as 33 and 22. 33 is the Christ vibration and the 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself, and the 22 of the Fool with an open heart, taking a leap of faith. We also have 1, 2, 3 jump. And 38 and 23 are significant. The Queen of Cups and the King of Wands. They've been coming up a lot together lately. And 36 of Atlas. 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, the Dream family. 67 in a lesser sense, the Knight of Pentacles. And 810, which is 0 behind 81, which for me is the end of karma around the world. The code line was all about... and I'm going to turn my dolphins off. The code line was all about abundance, environment, and creativity. And it was broken up into A, B, and then undance. Environment was broken up to ENV, and then ironment. And creativity was CR, and then eativity. So the way this message came up was to see, or sudden event, both being key, the support being key as well, the post, the pole, the rod, the support system. The 82, which is a reflection of the 28, the twins, or the dance of 2, the strength of the divine feminine, in a Three of Cups reunion or coming together in alternating currents or air conditioning, which the King of Swords comes up reversed, and they need some conditioning before meals here. Alchemy also coming up here to alchemize your energies, right? Allowing your energies to meld before doing things, which a lot about prayer before eating was coming up here. And that's not only to merge with your food, but to alchemize your energies as well, to spend time in the room together, aligning your spines perhaps, before actually talking or getting into any words. Alchemizing the I am presence. Setting the mass key and manifesting 2, perhaps 3 times a day before meals, blending the I am in alchemization. Seeing the key, the mass being key as well, the reflection of the 28, the twin flames, a reunion of alchemizing alternating currents by untying the knots of abundance. Envy of the Iron Man in me being explosive or toggling up or taking a time out. To envy the smoothing out of me when you're lit up. The undance or the ironing of the divine masculine time out. And CR came up, which means 10 million, or credit for eating activities. So it's like, it was coming up like if you want to get your man to meditate, make him do meditation before each meal. So if they want food, they must meditate first, or just making, or just going through that activity of thanking your food before you eat your food. So it's not just about prayer and thanking God for your food. It's thanking the food for their energy, for allowing you to, if you kill your food or if you picked your food, whatever your food is, merging with them, offering them love and thanks for what they're giving you. And the same with your partner, melding your energies, aligning your spines when you can, in order to meld your energies before combining them. So it's like a preface to the activities, like aligning things up before they come together so that everything goes smoothly. If they want food, they must meditate first or thank their food. So to set support, reflecting twins, a 3 times or coming together in joy before meals or in alternating currents or air conditioning to blend energies with food and each other, or in other words, alchemy. So the King of Swords was reversed and the underlying energies coming up here is the first thing out of the gate. All right, so the King of Swords is this top card here with the mini cards on top. And beneath that top card, from the bottom up, is the 7 of Cups reversed, the 10 of Pentacles reversed, the 6 of Cups reversed, the Lovers reversed, and the Sun upright. And then the King of Swords reversed. And this was 3:17 to 18, which is the star and the moon, along with the Empress of Abundance and Gaia. So the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, or the stars and the moon, rather. Dumping multiple loads and or emotional attachments, or no longer confused about the 10 of Pentacles reversed family, business, or community, or the world at large, or a legacy, dysfunction, or loss. In a past falling out, a negative past, or difficult kids, in a breakup or lack of affection, but there is sunshine here and lots of energy and exposure of the King of Swords reversed, negativity or arrogance, or being perfectly satisfied, lying, cheating, or stealing from others, or doing it to themselves as the enemy and facing one's fears and the need to protect the plan and keep it to themselves, to keep their energy clear of the quote-unquote the element. So it's that energy of not wanting to tell your secrets because it won't come true if you do. At 326, which is the Empress and the Page of Wands. It's like a leak, in the energy source. So at 326 is the Empress and the Page of Wands, coming back downstairs to the 10 of Pentacles reversed and the 6 of Cups reversed, which can be that dysfunctional family, or perhaps a family just had a loss, and the 6 of Cups, which can be children who are unhappy or acting up. And that can be soulmates as well. In a breakup or no love loss here, lack of affection, with the King of Swords reversed, perfectly happy to get info or get the dirt elsewhere, or hire a PI if they have to. After leaving the Emperor upright with the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups upright, with no peace, traveling, or not to the wounded warrior, receiving help from the Knight of Pentacles, but there's no love. They're helping, but they're not offering any love. Or after purging, no reunion, no gathering or no coming together with the Hermit reversed, perhaps someone with dementia or over-isolating and coming out awake, or with a bright idea In the undancing or untying of the knots without artificial light, only the light that radiates from your crown, or the hair standing up on end. No gravity, standing upside down without falling on your head, or defying gravity, or doing the opposite of what's not manifesting to merge to the middle, or a hermit getting drunk with undesirables, or a third party to wake them up, and or self. So it's like saying doing the opposite of what you want in order to merge the two polarities to the middle. Taking away the shedding of light, and that could be shedding of other stuff too, to allow them to see for themselves. So instead of showing them or trying to tell people directly what you're trying to explain to them, allowing them that time to figure it out themselves. Because, most people won't accept something until they've figured it out on their own. So Gemini reversed, Leo upright, Aries upright, and Virgo reversed, with Capricorn reversed and Taurus reversed. Divorce or break from religion or establishment or just societal norms. Taking a rest, a break, a meditation or praying, or 5D connection and laying something to rest. The Queen of Swords with something to say or is talking about being overworked or not working out. Material or fabric dragging on the ground, or time to bring cushions in, all around. All hands on deck, or a round of applause, and namaste, being at peace in separation. As the Queen of Swords is looking a little manly, and it was coming up like an Irishman would say, how's that saying? Anyway, it said the Queen of Swords looking a little manly, and when they said, it was sounding very Irish. Or the need to sit outside, that could be like a piratey way of saying it too. Or needs to sit outside with a bird and the princess wave showing their hand, or the Lady of the Lake discovering Excalibur and bringing it up to the surface. You deserve love comes up here, and beneath it was trust, that you need to have faith. The Emperor is stunned. I may be skinned too, but I wrote the Emperor stunned behind closed doors. The Hierophant narcissistic or out of control, tainted religious leader or Taurus reversed, no longer flashing their butt or putting it all out there to touch, under the radar, or seeking unsavory attention in an upside-down world, or the divine feminine in the 5D. Taurus's sharpening of the sword or blade, or making a sword by hand, or sharpening knives after catching someone or spying on them. Or enough dreaming of her and pleading their case now to the Queen of Pentacles upright, or willing to kiss their feet or toes, or as he's doing the toe sucking, she's having nightmares of it, the fish out of water flopping around, the bird injured and not up in the air. Two as one, you're always a team, whether they like it or not, and are doing something else or not with somebody else or not, at 358, which is the Empress and the 58 of the Four of Swords. 359 is that Empress and the Five of Swords then, the war within, as someone's remote viewing or installed a spy game or a spy camera in the ceiling. So I'm getting someone's watching the masculine at work here, whether it's remote viewing or someone literally put a camera in the ceiling above where he works. I was getting that very specifically at work over the divine masculine with two goats around him all the time. So there could be some Capricorns around them, but one of them is really dark. Or these could be two Capricorns in their pockets getting caught, and one is very dark. Ending conflicts of spying and begging for forgiveness, or someone's dream ended up a flop or not what they had promised, and so the others maybe letting them have it or not willing to listen to a word they say. Or the Queen of Pentacles even, it's saying that the Queen of Pentacles, even without spying, just knows, and or Pisces dreaming of someone else, or the Queen of Pentacles has Pisces or Taurus in their chart. Domestic harmony comes up here with 46, which is the children in the garden, and beneath that spirituality, which is 77, or the sovereign energy. Defenseless to the energies and or attack, or feeling ganged up on under the radar, or about having failed, or always seeking attention, or perhaps desperately seeking Susan. Oh, Susanna, oh, won't you cry for me? For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. So that came up. Or there could be anger from the Southern Cross as well here. Leo leaving dysfunctional family, or being strong like the wind, taming the beast, or taking the dog for a walk, or losing money dog walking, or spending on the Queen of Cups reversed, or paying them back for lying, cheating, and stealing, ghosting or running away, and the Hermit then shedding light on it, or the Hermit is on the ledge looking down. The old wise one can't believe what's going on down there. Leo and Virgo both upright, but fiery Queen of Cups reversed is not so good, or stole family money, or someone else did and she can't find it, or just plain old dysfunction in the family business community, in the world at large, or a legacy. The Hermit with a light on over the King of Swords reversed, awake to what's not working, with the Queen of Pentacles with issues with falling out in the past, or difficult kids at home, and or difficult children within, at 416, which is the Emperor and the Tower. We have Virgo upright, Capricorn reversed, along with the King of Swords reversed, and Queen of Pentacles, Taurus or Virgo, or has Taurus or Pisces in their chart. The underlying energy is the Hierophant reversed and the Wheel upright, which can be divorce or a break destined, or Taurus reversed and Libra upright here. And then going forward after this read is the energy of falling on their face in front of the upside down world, or in front of the Divine Feminine, the 5D, the twins choosing a path of sunshine exposure to those in exile, left behind, or released on their own recognizance. Stars, dreams, and healing frustrations, the King of Swords reversed with Atlas or the weight of the world, or slave labor and detoxing, or lifting to detox stress and chaos from the day. At 424, the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. In the recent past is the Eight of Swords reversed, in a release from a trap, imprisonment, a wake-up call, an announcement or final judgment of the Queen of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups upright, or Aquarius upright and Leo and Taurus both reversed here, or the Queen of Wands reversed with a call from the Page of Cups offering love, or a child that's so happy about being present, or about a gift that they got, but divided in need of clarity of the Ten of Cups reversed, family who may be unhappy about it, or a family split and trying to end a nightmare and settle things out, or share with the Page of Wands reversed, star or dream, or healed from a falling out in the past, or kids are not talking under the radar, or failed and didn't tell. The Chariot reversed, stuck, broken, broke down, broke up, broke in, out, or through, in a state of chaos, and yet self-satisfied. The Knight of Swords reversed, lashing out, or holding their tongue, with the Hierophant reversed, weak or sick, or difficult communication in a divorce, with Taurus reversed and or Leo reversed, or perhaps a sick pet, or telling someone to come get their pet or child now. The foundation is the Three of Swords upright, in separation, being offered a payout to Leo reversed, a child or a pet, or one who is weak or sick, so that the Knight of Cups can offer love in energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, with hard work, with the King of Wands defending himself. To or about energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, or lots of communication or travel back and forth. Can you explain that? Or lots of back and forth in general. Or Leo reversed is slaving for the King of Wands and coming back. May I have another, please, sir? Or fending off, or the King of Wands is fending off unwanted advances over and over, or unending heartbreak because of it. The central energy is Ascension reversed, the World reversed, incomplete or Divine Feminine in 5D, or Pisces reversed, not ascending or no sense connection, the Knight of Wands reversed, and perhaps the Page of Wands reversed too, if there's two children here too, connecting one-to-one with the King of Swords reversed, star, with the Emperor or father, and bad childhood, or always seen as a failure in his father's eyes, making him insecure and manipulative, or without tools to end conflict or face it. Conflict, losing patience or temper, or dealing with a fallen angel. Or the Emperor has 2 to 3 sons that he sees as all bad seeds or worthless kids. Or the Emperor is the good man here, surrounded by difficult people, negativity, manipulators, and fallen angels with no patience. The Star, or someone who could be arrogant here, the failure, and the fallen angel. Or all are one person, the golden child, who failed them all. Pisces reversed, Aries upright, Gemini or Virgo reversed, Sag reversed, and Aquarius upright here. The challenge being the Three of Cups reversed, that third-party lover, sharing epiphanies and or sudden events, or settling out suddenly, awake to verbal abuse, or choosing another path after pushed to their emotional limit. The world is upside down for the Queen of Cups reversed, or Pisces or Divine Feminine Queen of Cups reversed, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments, or just no longer confused about the King of Pentacles upright here. Pisces reversed, Capricorn reversed, and Scorpio upright here, or Scorpio with an ultimatum to the Queen of Cups reversed, and the King of Pentacles is no longer confused about the one. The King of Wands, the King of Pentacles here is standing up to unwanted advances and separation, with the Ten of Cups reversed family and sudden jealous rage, or Scorpio knocked out for a loop, or did that to someone else, Sagittarius reversed, fallen angel, who may be being a Scrooge or hoarding at 455, the Emperor and the Truth, or they're hiding money to offer love as the Knight of Cups to the 5D connection. That's not where they're not working out with the King of Wands upright, or offering a break to the King of Wands who is overworked, and announcing to a dependent or renouncing his dependence and or powerlessness, or calling to invite someone to no longer be single. So I have to come back to this point. Okay, so in the now moment here, we have Indigo reversed, starting over, with the King of Cups reversed and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss, working with Scorpio reversed, Sag upright, and Virgo. Perhaps the Indigo is a child, or the King of Swords reversed, adult, Gemini or Libra or Aquarius, starting over at work without Scorpion King of Cups reversed and dysfunctional family, business, or community, patience long enough, and hermiting or Sag and Virgo here. Frustrated with no growth and moving on, with falling out in the past, perhaps after longing for them, or with the Hermit reverse missing their flame. These two cards have come up together 3 days in a row, and I've shuffled this deck so much. It's the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Six of Cups, which is like a woman longing for the past or for the person they love. And then the Hermit in the Tarot Sexual Magic is missing their flame. And they've come up side by side at least 3 days in a row. And here they are again, missing their flame, getting over it, destined justice of bliss, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands reversed, falling short or playing them for money and or security, or worried they won't be enough for them. In need of peace, in exile, or with limited means, and the need to keep quiet about an offer of love, with the Knight of Pentacles upright and the Knight of Cups upright, in a 5D connection. When it's not working, they're without peace apart, Cancer reversed and Capricorn reversed, or Knight of Cups and King of Wands. All right. So then soon here is the Ace of Swords reversed, which is some kind of split, divide, or lie, a need for more truth, to release from prison of silence or verbal abuse, from perhaps an egotistical person at the workplace, fired, laid off, or leaving on vacation, or to retire, dropping the act, dead tired of patience, or being left out in the cold, connecting one-to-one with no fun, or dropping the facade and breaking patterns, destined. With Capricorn and Scorpio and both reversed and Libra upright here, the twin flames seeing themselves as the Eight of Pentacles reversed, overworking or not working out, or just not going to work. With secret passion, the Empress upright, or one without integrity and doesn't use their intuition, in a seat of power. In a breakup with no love, or partiers or overindulgers, social distancing, antisocial, or just no lover, affection, or joy, or no longer working, and with third party heartbroken, and or embarrassing self, or he afraid to embarrass self in front of the Empress, afraid to disappoint, or fell from grace in front of the mother and her sister due to a third party, or hanging out with the wrong crowd at 508, which is the Hierophant and the dance, or the inner strength of manifestation. Soulmate here, and honeymoon, or caught taking an employee on a trip with them. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Two of Cups upright with a message, or the Page of Swords stepping up to the plate, with parent with dementia, or after over-isolating and going crazy, coming out about home, union, or celebration, that all went to hell, a storm, or all were kicked out, or a fight broke out, or home over isolating in some kind of sudden event, epiphany, or energetic exchange about or with a soulmate. And the block being here, alchemy reversed, losing patience or temper, in exile or debt, howling at the full moon, the wounded warrior is on guard. But this is the block, so it doesn't mean it's true, it just means the block about somebody's worried that something will happen. It's a fear. The abundance of environment, creativity, of a big love at work here. This has never come up, these two cards in this combination, as long as I've been doing it. There's a huge love connection at work or through work, but these two cards never come up together. It's like just an undeniable love connection here. The crown flowering wide open in a big decision, announcement, or wake-up call, with the Knight of Cups offering love to the King of Wands through the Knight of Cups 5D connection, and the King of Wands overworked or not working out or leaving work and turning his back to calls for money and or dependency. The Page of Pentacles with an opportunity or an invite to take sovereign's independence, or the King of Wands is making a decision about two kids and or their employees. The King of Pentacles crown is shining bright after stuck without peace and chaos and detox. Cancer reversed and Capricorn reversed with no peace between them when they're not around each other at 519, which is the Hierophant and the Sun. The King of Pentacles and the King of Wands are both upright here, walking away after death, or it's that the other one is walking away from them. After a death or ending, or after transition, or just dead tired of the never-ending story, floating in their knowing and keeping it to themselves and just over it. The King of Swords reversed, disappointed, heartbroken, or separated, overworked, or just not working out in a partnership, or taking off work to connect and release with the Divine Feminine 5D, or an upside down world, or almost complete their cycle, or Pisces upside down and challenged by a third party. So the challenge being the energy of the third party. There could be social distancing here too that are affecting things, and or bad influences, or someone always drinking. Again, dealing with a split, a lie, or divide of the fallen angel, or bad temper. The indigo child reversed in separation with the world upside down, or manipulative and insecure and very judgmental of the King of Pentacles and King of Wands, both walking away and dead tired to keep to themselves. Or it's this third party there in a partnership, perhaps walking away from the two of them. The King of Swords reversed, released from or by Hermit. Heartbroken with the world upside down, or Divine Feminine 5D, challenged by no joy or stuck as the third party or bad influences around him. The indigo reverse, not working out in a split, divide, or just one big lie about the Two of Cups partnership or intense connection, losing patience or making a final judgment call, or a call to the King of Pentacles and King of Wands, walking away dead tired for time to themselves to get over loss and regret. All right, so let's pull a few oracle cards here to see what's coming up. It's 7:20 on the clock, which is the Chariot and the 20 of Judgment, or the 2 of the High Priestess with Source backing it up. And 108 is the Magician and the 8 of the Dance, between the masculine and the feminine, the strength, the manifestation of dreams. All right, and so what is our takeaway from the read today, from the Animal Spirit Guidebook? All right, we have the Horse, which is Mr. Ed, and we have the Panther, and this is like polar opposites, right? Because this always comes up as the Godhead, and that's, you know, the anti-God, really. Okay, but you see how the same they are at the same time, right? You see them as opposites, but right, because this one has light, this one has dark in the background, but look how much the same they actually are, right? Made of the same cloth, the dark and the light, the human and the Godhead. That's very interesting. And then we have, oh, I'm getting really sweaty here. That's why, because the elk just came up. He's a hothead. Let's see where this ends. There's a lot of cards coming up. So there's a big group here. So this is what's going on. The bottom of the deck is the zebra. So it's very similar to the horse energy, only they have stripes, right? Because their 30 eyes activated. So the zebra is the underlying energy, and the shark's behind them. So after these two leaders here, right, the Godhead and the anti-God, right, we have the innocent one of the otter, who's very well balanced, the sweet little, one in their diaper with their little belly hanging over their diaper. And then there's the eagle diving to the nest. And there is the lizard. And I was just getting the pest. And then there's the turtle, who's really slow, don't fence me in, because these guys are all on one side trying to get the turtle to do one thing, and on this side is the hothead elk, who's usually a great person, but can be really arrogant and mean when they're not eating right. And then we have the hummingbird whispering in their ear, perhaps provoking them. And then there's the bee who's working really hard, just like with the same energy of the otter you see, right? They're kind of like innocent bystanders. And then there's the peacock who's beautiful within and without and just trying to keep themselves looking good. And then there's the little mouse who's nervous about everything. Okay, so there's this big group here all focused on the turtle who's slow. And this is like no man left behind. It's like, come on, you got to get going because we can't go anywhere until you catch up. And you see that none of them have a lot of dark except for the mouse. He's got a lot of dark because he's nervous all the time. And there's a lot of dark around them, but he's so strong and balanced and purity that he keeps that dark away from them. And the other ones are pretty mixed except for the turtle. It's like, why are you so slow? We want to go. And so this one's getting really impatient with them. So whatever situation this is, these guys are all behind this side. The nervous, the beauty, the carpenter bee, the hummingbird clearing really fast, whispering in their ear, trying to get him, lighting a fire under him to get a fire lit under the turtle. Because apparently this one can't do it directly to the turtle because they won't listen to them. And then this is the other side of the coin here. Very interesting the way they're coming up. So there's a big group here. Right? They're fighting, it's like good and evil fighting for their property. That could be literally someone fighting over property, because then the next card too is the spider, right? The wicked web we weave. Right? Here's the grid being lit up, the rainbow grid, the 4D bridge of the collective awakening. So that's that deck. I do want to pull from another deck for you too. I'm going to pull from the Lenormand Reverie here. The boat, this one just flicked out a little bit, but I'm not going to pull that one. That's the, it's like the ship sailing over the mountain. And that can be a ship stuck on a mountain with no water in it either. Or it can be sailing right through. It's the Three of Abundance. And the Empress coming together, happy-go-lucky. Let's see, 16. So, and we're only a week away from Thanksgiving. I don't even know when it is. It's not this week though, right? Okay, from the Lenormand Reverie, our takeaway, there's the mountain. So we just saw the ship sailing over the mountain or getting stuck on the mountaintop. But this is about completion with the 21. And we have the buck down here. The buck stops here. Complete, mountain climbed. And then we have the child here. Child in transition. And there's the pup. And this is like the romantic pup. So this can literally be a pet who wants someone to take the lead, or it's this child waiting for someone else to guide them. After, this could be a child completing a school cycle. They're finished for a Christmas break, in transition, waiting for someone to take the lead, or perhaps they come home for the dog waiting for them to take them out. It's such a sweet energy. And this could be the otter. It was next to the otter. And don't forget we have the mouse too. So we have the mountain here where the eagle could be coming from, But it's like the child sailed right over that mountain where the eagle was. They cleared that. They didn't get taken in by the eagle. And there may be an innocent pet here waiting for them to commit themselves to. And 25 is the Knight of Wands, rather. So again, this has to do with the circle of trust, the commitment, getting yourself going. There's that red energy of inspiring yourself to move physically. And then we have the star, the tower, the 16 of today's date, the sudden event or sudden dreams coming true, which is very positive energy here. So that's what it feels like. It's like a child committing to their dreams, or maybe getting a pet is their dream commitment. So that's interesting. It's all about the child, whether it's the inner child or your outer child, making a transition after a huge completion and either wanting help, getting started on something new, a commitment to something new, or literally getting a pet. Somebody getting their dreams coming true. And then we have the bottom of the deck with the 38, which is the Queen of Cups, and crossing twin bridges here, and that could be their child, right? Helping their child. Maybe that was the last thing they had to do in order to complete the cycle. Okay, and then we have the journey of love. All right, from the journey of love, what do we need to know? Whoops, the whole deck is kind of falling apart there, sorry. All right, there we go. All right, Sacred Convergence is 28, which is the twin flames, and this is the card I always talk about at the Twin Towers. It's like an ice pop coming up from beneath the ground as the masters come up on there, the Pleiadians, whomever. The energies from the other realms, not this 3D dimension, but all of a sudden appearing on stage at the Twin Towers. I don't know if there's some kind of musical event planned here, you know, like a We Are the World type of thing. And then we have the spiral dance of the goddess, which this always reminds me of a fallopian tube being strangled. So someone might have a pregnancy where they don't know what's wrong, but it's an ectopic pregnancy. Is that right? So we then have Earth Angel as well. Let me just feel into these a little bit. They're very different. So here's Earth Angel. And they just want me to count some other cards, but the bottom of the deck here is the Void. So we have the Void, which also looks like an ovary type of thing, or the going down the fallopian tubes, the Void. The 40 of the Page of Cups, the innocent one. And beneath the Void is the Swan, which is very pure. So it's a lot about purity was coming up today. And then the innocence of the Swan, which is 67, is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Page of Cups, so innocent energies, very loyal, humble servant, and that innocent child of the Void. So these three came up. So let me just feel into these for a second. So the fallopian and the pearl can come up on this card too, but it's like, you know, it's like gangrene kind of color. The spiral dance of the goddess. And the circling up, sometimes things get caught. You know, sometimes we get that some things get choked off, or that you get a kink in the wire. That's the message I'm getting here. Somebody didn't get the message properly or didn't come through all the way. And the fallopian tube too is about a new birth, right? The seed didn't take hold. Oh, it's reminding me to tell you too, in the blueberry leaves that I saw regrowing, you know, now that it's getting freezing cold out, they wanted me to tell you that it has to do with the same principle of the olive trees in the desert and the evergreens in northern Canada growing, having extra potency in what the fruits that they grow. It's the same kind of energy that's coming up now about the blueberry plant and the other flowering plant that I have in my garden. And I'm seeing a blanket. The colors of the rainbow there, I'm seeing her pulling a blanket over something. It's like the divine feminine's energy is like a blanket. that warms the earth. Just like the divine feminine's body would, you know, keep the child warm within the womb and the fallopian tubes as the seeds come down. Or the egg, rather, the implanted egg. I'm getting to that you know how I said there's a lot of people involved here in the card that came up? There's a lot of people here, but the message I'm getting now is that there's a lot that goes into making this happen, right? When a child is born. There's a lot that goes into this that you don't see. It's a huge undergoing to bring someone to be, to make sure that you keep yourself in good health and warm. Keep yourself healthy and warm. Earth angel with a message to bring. The 28 of the twins, the 29 of being present, and the gift that you are, and the message that you bring to blanket the earth. It's very interesting the way it's coming up. I'm going to show you, I have some cards to count here. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more cards. It's 9, and we're talking about the 10, right? The 9 plus 1, the 3 by 3 plus 1 is the 10 of that pyramid. The whole, the golden gate, all right, to the positive side. And let's see, we're going to read Mr. Ed here, the horse. Where are you, horse? Horse is a horse, of course, of course. I can't remember the words. Momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, or exercise, and mental focus, or meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When in balance, they can achieve anything and they never give up. When they're out of balance, they run away and feel weak. To bring back into balance, strength training. So there you go. I'm going to read you the panther too, since they're coming up in as the antagonist here. And the panther's definitely on the low end in the book too. Let's see here, because the less evolved ones always come up first. Where are you? All right, I'll get there. He's hiding, the panther. So after the lizard and the panther, tarantula, camel, gazelle, cheetah, tiger, cobra, zebra. Where are you? Come on. I just went through the whole section and it's hiding. All right, I know it's in the beginning. Hold on. What 2 pages are sticking together? That's not it. Oh, there it is. It's the panther's after the lizard, but it's before the tarantula. Annihilation of the unnecessary and purging. The panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, which the eagles seem to be doing in the cards that came out, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating, but after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, they're brave and productive. When they're out of balance, they're self-destructive. To bring back into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. All right, so that's the 2 of them. And then from the journey of love, the first card out was the Sacred Convergence, the twins of 28. Okay. There's a coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you're experiencing discomfort within your own body or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It is like two worlds or more colliding. If you are sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into relationship with them, apparently more by circumstance than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow, and sometimes to rejoice in, or something to rejoice in, even if it's uncomfortable at times. Be gentle and loving with yourself, and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself in your interactions and experiences. You're a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged at this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious, as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry. You're a unique plant in the divine garden, and you don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. From the white foam on the surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves, wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. Okay, make sure you drink your water and get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Be good to yourselves. Take a deep breath. And again. One more deep breath. Rise and be love, guys. I'll see you real soon. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.